Europe's march toward war. Are we repeating 20th century catastrophes? 1 trillion euros. That's how much Europe is expected to spend every single year. But for what? Hospitals, infrastructure, social programs? No. That money is being funneled into one thing: buying American weapons, stockpiling for a war against Russia. But who really profits from this march to madness? The answer is simple and honestly pretty sinister. The United States, twice. First, Washington supplies the arms, fighter jets, missiles, surveillance systems, raking in billions for its military-industrial complex. Second, it avoids the immediate consequences, protected by an ocean, detached from the battlefield, yet pulling the strings behind the curtain. If this sounds eerily familiar, it should. In both World War I and World War II, America entered late, but profited early. And now history seems to be repeating itself, only this time with even higher stakes and nuclear overtones. Ukraine? That's just the beginning. A prelude, a warm-up, a starter, as some analysts say. Russia is not playing for land, not now, not yet. What it seeks is something deeper: demilitarization, destabilization of NATO's eastern flank, and ultimately, regime change in Kyiv. This war, this so-called special military operation, is not the final act. It's a methodical campaign of attrition, one step at a time, and behind every move, a calculating eye: Vladimir Putin. And as Russia prepares, so do its adversaries. The next puppet for Kyiv's throne, it's no longer a rumor, it's been confirmed. Zaluzhny, trained in London, shaped by MI6, molded to serve Western designs. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's in mainstream American media, a British-sponsored leadership for a proxy war against Russia, and Moscow knows it, better than anyone. Meanwhile, NATO's surveillance planes circle over Crimea like vultures. Why? Something's coming. A terror-style provocation, perhaps. A false flag. Or maybe a calculated push to force Moscow's hand. If that happens, the calibrated Russian response may end. And when it does, Europe won't be ready. Inside Russia, the pressure is building. This almost war cannot remain almost forever. Analysts in Moscow whisper it's time. The transition is near. From special military operation to counter-terrorist operation. Once that shift is made, the gloves come off. And then, what happens when the terrorist leaders are neutralized? Who steps in? Zaluzhny, London's man? Because Britain is already at war with Russia. You won't hear it said aloud at Downing Street, but on the battlefield, in training camps, in arms deals, it's happening. And that changes everything. So what comes next? If this cold escalation continues, we're staring down the barrel of a NATO-Russia war by 2030. That's not speculation, that's a trajectory. And Russia is already calculating what that war will look like. They know their options, they know their targets. Every NATO command post, every logistics hub, every airfield, gone in 30 minutes. Yes, they can. The technology exists, the missiles are in place, but Russia doesn't act unless pushed. Restraint is not weakness, it's strategy. The West may poke, provoke, escalate, but when Moscow does respond, it won't be incremental. It will be catastrophic, a coup de grace, a final blow. That's Russian military doctrine. Wait, absorb, endure, and then strike when it matters most. Inside Russia, casualty numbers are taboo, but the truth is grim. The Kremlin accepts military losses for now. But if civilian deaths mount, if another red line is crossed, then all bets are off. That red line? It's invisible. It exists only in one place, inside Vladimir Putin's mind. And when it's crossed, the consequences will not be reversible. Imagine a false flag in Moscow, hundreds dead. That's the nightmare scenario. If it happens, those behind it better start running, because the Russian bear will wake up for real, and there won't be a second chance. Meanwhile, Western leaders fan the flames. The German Chancellor casually calls for strikes inside Russian territory. That alone is a declaration of war. NATO generals seem, drunk on hubris. They thought they could crush Russia in 3 months. They were wrong, dead wrong. And now the mask is slipping. Desperation is rising. Trump? He's already walking away. This isn't my war, he says. It's Biden's. It's Europe's. He'll sell the weapons, yes, but the blood? That'll be European. And the fall? Oh, it's coming. Every day this war drags on, Europe collapses further. Politically, economically, morally. But the leaders don't see it, they can't see it. Or maybe they won't. They're walking blindfolded into disaster. Deaf, dumb, blind. Led by fools who believe they're playing chess, while they're actually the pawns. This isn't just about Ukraine, this isn't even about Crimea, this is about what the world looks like in 2030. Because the real war, the generational war, the one no one is ready for, is coming. And if history teaches us anything, it's that the road to catastrophe is often paved with arrogance, denial and silence. But this time, it's paved with nuclear weapons. We're not just watching history repeat, we're living it. If this video helped you connect the dots, like it to share the warning, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and comment below. How far do you think this escalation will go before someone finally pulls the brakes?